I think probably both of us are in awe of nature and love, spending time outdoors, and that just in itself is inspiring.
I first started making the trees just in my parents' garden. We had a cabin out there, and I had my first lathe just in this little cabin, and I started making just little weird forms and shapes, and they were pretty odd back then. But then I was getting married in 2012, and so I decided to make all of my wedding guests a little favour for the tables. So everybody got this pokey little tree that I made. So it was a really good exercise because I had to make essentially 150 different shaped trees. So that was kind of like the conception of them, and then it's just kind of evolved from there. So we realised that they were popular and we could be onto something. So then we approached a shop in Brighton, and they started stocking the trees. And from then on in, we kind of had to be a bit more professional with it. So then they grew in size, and the shapes got a bit more crisp and organised. It's just kind of evolved nice and organically, really.
We use a few different woods for making the trees. The choice to do that is just so that we've got a bit of variety. So you've got variety in the shapes, and then you've also got variety in timber. But we've also chosen timbers that are nice to turn, timbers that we're able to do some really interesting shapes with. Particularly maple or whatever is very good at getting crisp edges.
We've got 6 base varieties of timbers, but the really nice thing about this product is because they're so small, we can use offcuts from all of our furniture that we make. Anything else that's kind of the right dimensions but that's kicking around in the workshop without a purpose, that all just gets turned into trees. So we've got 6 base timbers that we can make them from, but then we can use all sorts of reclaimed timbers and any offcut that we've got kicking about. So then it opens up a massive variety of tones and colours and timber.
I think probably both of us are in awe of nature and love, spending time outdoors and enjoying the seasons and everything. And I think there's so much to appreciate in nature. That just in itself is inspiring, wanting to create our own beautiful things.
It's blindingly obvious with the trees, isn't it? But they are a tiny little homage to trees, to the bigger cousins of these little ornaments. I think everybody has a connection with nature and trees, and it's a really nice thing just for us to make and kind of copy that a little bit, but also to have in your home and have a little chunk of timber, but also a little kind of mini-me tree as well.
I know that when I have to spend a day doing admin or replying to emails, I definitely don't feel the same sense of satisfaction as when I've made something and can see at the end of the day that I've actually made this item or whatever. I find it highly satisfying from that point of view. It's something that within me that I've just got to be making things and creating things, and other people won't have that, but that's just something that I really strive for.
Obviously I can't speak for the rest of humanity, but I feel like people in general they need to create. There's immense satisfaction in bringing something from not a lot raw materials into this form that you've decided to make, and I would say it does have physical and mental positive attributes to doing that. I think it's healthy for us, and it's definitely healthy for me. Far too busy a mind, and it's stuffed full of ideas, and I think actually making something physical is a really healthy process for me. I think our trees they sort of seem to speak to people around Christmas time. It's a very seasonal product. Maybe it's the Christmas tree symbolism, but I think people just love to have them around their homes in the holiday season. So, adorning a mantelpiece or just a little collection of them on a shelf. I think there is something quite festive about them, isn't there? They're not designed to be a festive ornament, but I think they've just kind of nicely settled into that season.
I guess also they're great gifts. It's quite an easy. They're quite universally liked. The appeal that they have is in both the timber and also the craft of this neatly crafted little tree. I think there's a lot of appeal.